Hey everybody, what is up? Here it is Dom. Today we're going to be showing you guys top 5 ARMA 3 most replayable missions you guys can get your hands on right here. Start off with number 5, we have the dynamic bulwarks build, defend, and survive. It is simply a wave system game mode here that is really fun. I cannot describe the layers of fun on this. It's kind of taken the back burner recently with a lot of the other game modes that have came out, but it's still a very fun one to relive here today. It's got a ton of mod support for it too, whether you have some of the DLCs or if you play stuff like Warhammer Aftermath, World War II, modern day stuff using Cup, even gold mobilization here. So take a little look at it here first. So you guys have ever played like Call of Duty Zombies or even Call of Duty, actually more like Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 survival mode, very reminiscent to that there. You have the bulwark here, it's got the shop, you can pick it up there, you can heal yourself, move around wherever you want. You can see in the shop here that we have our wave, our tickets. You can buy some stuff there, get some base building, but essentially what you want to do is be running around here and you want to kind of look for gear and see if you can find any, while also seeing if you can survive as long as you can against the wave enemies as they get harder and harder. You'll face special groups of enemies who of course they'll throw a helicopter at you, tanks, vehicles, throw guys with more armor, but initially it'll start off very calm. There's even a supply drop to kind of help you out and get you started. You can check around the map there once you find one. Also, it'll help making grabbing objects a lot easier. So for instance, you can see I'm running in here. I managed to find myself an RPG bag, and I managed to find myself a gun here with the MG3. So quick little start there, and a couple more weapons around here, G3A3. Eventually there will be some enemies here that'll be coming after me here, so we'll need to keep an eye out for them. But it's a really fun game mode. Like I said, you guys will get tons of fun with it. It does have multiplayer support. Should say that about every single one of these missions I'll show here is that you can play them in single player or in multiplayer, which makes them just that much more fun there. Next up, we have Kill Potatoes Liberation here. What's nice about this, like I said, with the prior with Bulwarks, is that there's multiple support across multiple maps, multiple different mods here for it. Well, Liberation is essentially, it is a take over the island, take over the map game mode. You start off on a very small little portion, you kind of work your way up with your group there, whether it be in multiplayer or buying AI to help you secure areas. Liberation in itself will have a lot of parameters here that you can mess around with, whether you're going to be using the normal revive system here, if you guys are using ace, how you want to handle stamina, arsenal, if you want to just let it be the entire toy box of everything. Also tweak it for the server for how many enemies are going to be present there, victory conditions, all of that, who will have essentially the permissions to go and build the FOBs. You can get a nice look about everything that you can expect here. Like I said, it'll be different for each liberation mission there. You can even design your own liberation mission there with the files on the GitHub, which is really nice if you want to add more essentially objectives across the map to go and take out. Coming in at number 3 here is Anastasia, Altus Edition here. Like I said, there's different versions across different maps for all of these. Anastasia is so special in particular that it is a guerrilla fighter's dream right here. You have a small group of resources to use, small group of guys, and you work your way up, taking out the island from the two sides that are raging war there, whether it be NATO and CSAT, or if you're having the Germans, then the US there, the Axis and the Allies. If you're doing the World War II version, you are just a civilian out there with your band of brothers, and you want to go and take back your land from all the fighting sides that are going on. You are that third force, so to say, that is fighting to get your land back. And it's really good because you have such a limited arsenal, and then you start conquering things one by one, where you'll be able to get more access to more resources, more access to just all the tools and buying more soldiers. It's really cool. I highly recommend checking out Anastasia. It's a lot harder there than Liberation, but it also has some like undercover mode where you can kind of go into stealth mode amongst the enemy, portraying yourself as just a normal person in the civilian population. The last two here are going to be very similar. In number four, I should say, we got dynamic combat ops. I absolutely love the dynamic missions here, and you'll see, of course, with number one, the combat variant here is a bit different, that you'll have more vehicles at your disposal, more platoon size, so to say, but the support across multiple maps, multiple different mods is extremely plug and play. If you want to use it with Cup, RHS, Star Wars, Warhammer all at the same time, you can have defining who's the good guys, who's the bad guys, who's the civilian forces. It is very, very fun there. And of course, coming at number five, or number one, how you look at it there, dynamic recon ops. You knew it was gonna be number one. It's great, it's beautiful, so much support. It's a smaller version of the combat ops, but it's got a lot more to it in regard to like the mission designs, what you can do, spreading across the randomization, the replayability of it, so to say. It is so much fun. And here's the beautiful screen that you'll be looking at most of the time with your dynamic recon ops. Go through, choose if you want minefields, enable stealth, force through the enemies, what time. You can completely randomize it, so you'll be even surprised there in the amount of objectives, what objective preferences you have. The big one here is player faction. You can determine, if you guys are going to be Poland, be East Germany. Well, I should say I do have gold mobilization listed here, but if you have any of your mods, it also show up there, like I mentioned, with like Star Wars or World War II, modern day, anything in that regard. You could play as the bad guys or play as independent forces there. But even if you just picked a random one here with NATO, you can go and still play Barbie dress up in the arsenal and have everyone look completely different than the faction that you had listed there. Even I picked Spetsnaz, I could still have them dress up as NATO forces there. And we can see that is giving us a full mission here, completely randomized. You don't have to do any of the work here, it just makes it for you. You can see we got retrieve intel, clear area there over at this airfield. You can go through and pick some stuff that you'd want to do, for instance, if you want to be closer, how you want to do your insertions, but you can completely just randomize that too and be for a surprise. Squad loadouts are wonderful. It's the same thing with your dynamic combat ops, just on a grander scale there. But everyone, that's going to do it here, looking at the top 5 most replayable missions there that you guys can get your hands on. I highly recommend you check them out. They're so much fun, whether you're playing them solo or with friends, I will say. Tell me your thoughts down below. If there's anything else that I missed or anything that you guys would definitely recommend, leave them down there below. On a side note, honorable mention, gotta say Mike Force is a top one if you own the Creator DLC Prairie Fire. It's such a big one, but I didn't include it because it's not technically a mod, even though it may be a paid mod. It's more of the DLC aspect there. Other than that, keep it safe, everyone. You know what to do. Peace out.